Take the next step toward the career you want, be it business, cybersecurity, healthcare, or more. UMGC can help you get there. No application fee when you apply by August 31st. Visit umgc.edu, certified to operate by Chev.
If 2020 has taught us anything, it's to take nothing for granted. So when you expect hot water and get cold, when you expect the shower to drain and it doesn't, when you turn the furnace on and it won't start, stop freaking and call Beacon Plumbing, Heating, and Mechanical. 1-800-FREAKIN'.
Hey, this is BJ. Thanks for listening to our show's podcast. If you're a fan of all things geeky, you should check out my other podcast, BJ Shea's Geek Nation. We have new episodes every day, and you can check it out at bjgeeknation.com.
Your driver's license is important so you can get back and forth to work, get your kids to school, and back and forth to daycare. If your license has been suspended because you can't pay your tickets, you can't do any of those things. Let's talk about Chapter 13 bankruptcy. You may have heard that tickets cannot be discharged, but they can be dealt with in a Chapter 13 case. Why not come in for a free consultation? The chapter you choose will make all the difference to your getting back legally on the road. Let's design a plan to pay off your tickets and restore your license immediately. I'm attorney Travis Gagne. Please contact me today at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com.
.9 KISW, the Rock of Seattle. Someone asked people to name the most attractive jobs when it comes to dating. So basically, the ideal job you'd want your date to have. This is what it is. This is like, all right, I'm looking to date somebody, and here's the job I would love them to have. So right now, the hottest job a guy can have in 2021, this makes complete sense to me.
Oh, boy. Let's see.
Even though it is so, I feel like it's very, very selfish, but I understand that sometimes we're very selfish when it comes to what we want our mates to be.
A masseuse.
A masseuse. No,
I'm
sir.
sorry, massage therapist.
Yeah, not that either, no.
Well, women like to be rubbed down, don't
Yeah,
they?
they do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So if you had that skill, look out,
No.
world.
Ooh.
Look out, world.
I've got like, it looks like the top 10 here, and massage therapist is not on there. Sorry, my friend.
Well, then chef then. Someone who can
chef.
cook for you.
Not on the list either.
Oh.
Firefighter.
Yeah.
Firefighter is on the list. Congratulations, sir. You are
There we
absolutely
go.
right.
Ladies love the firefighter.
Yeah.
See, now I got to think of like which ones have had those month or those yearly calendars. So,
Yeah, well,
Yeah. I'll tell you this as a clue. Here's a clue. For men and women, the profession is very similar. The top spot for men and women, what they want. What men want, the ideal job for their date and vice versa. Similar profession.
exotic dancer.
That's it.
Right?
Congratulations. There you go.
shouldn't that be number one?
Wow. Yeah,
I'm
you did,
gonna-
you did it.
I got it. Doctor.
Yeah, number one, sir. Number one. And therefore, you can probably understand what the... Now, here's the thing. I said similar profession. So this is a bit sexist, if you ask me, because either men and women can do these jobs as well as, doctor, but men, they're looking for nurses.
Oh, I think I say proctologists.
Whoa.
Proctologist. Okay, yeah.
It's oddly specific, but that's what I've been
Yeah,
hearing.
that's
So
very,
very
very specific.
specific.
Yeah, but I suppose for a woman, because on average their fingers would be a little smaller. Maybe you do want a woman to be your proctologist. Okay, I kind of know where you're going there a little bit. So number one, doctor. That's what women want in men, and what people want in women is number one profession is nurse, which is fascinating to me because I would much rather have a female doctor. I have very much enjoyed female doctors in my life as opposed to male doctors.
I have no issue either way, except for obviously when there's a certain thing that needs to be checked. I like to go with the doctor that has the smallest hands. Doesn't matter if they're man or female. But I just want a doctor that's cool, not like cool, like I want to go hang out and get beers with, but that could just kind of explain things in a way that I understand and is not like, because sometimes you get some doctors that just seem very I don't know, they're very technical, yeah, and it's just like I kind of want you to explain things in a dumber way for me.
Pretend I'm 4
yeah.
years old and
Yeah.
explain it to me.
Right,
you
look
go.
at me. I don't have to pretend really. Pretend I'm stupid. I am. But pretend I'm stupid as well.
I'm
let me
wondering
ask-
if everyone or guys want a nurse instead, because if I feel like a doctor is a more demanding job, which means that they're going to be at work more often. Not saying that nurses don't work long
dude.
shifts, but I'm wondering if that has something to do with it.
No, I honestly, Vicky, nowadays I'm not sure who has the more demanding schedule because of the
That's
fact of the nurse shortage. So maybe that's what they're thinking, but boy, they're wrong if they're thinking that, because I think nurses are working in some cases longer hours than doctors. So I don't know if that's the reason, but it's not a good reason anymore. It used to, maybe you could say that before when they made house calls and things of that nature, but Now, man, nurses are just getting their asses kicked with the hours they're working.
What about this job? The person that's just collecting unemployment because they get paid more on that than their actual job.
Yeah, I think
seems to be the trend right now.
That is what everybody's doing right now, Steve. You're
so
right.
Sexy.
So hot. Will they have more time for you?
Yeah, good point. Yeah. Oh, man. No, that's not on the list either.
You're not wrong, but still.
If you don't need a doctor, which, of course, I mean, nowadays I get it. People want somebody in the medical profession because, well, we got this thing going on. But number 2 is what you would need normally in life if you got into any kind of trouble for as far as what someone's looking for in men. And number 2 on both lists are very different. It is so weird to me. But again, I think it's very traditional, which is, I guess when you think of this list, boy, what people want in women, it is very traditional. This is not something that I would think is cutting edge. Like a nurse as opposed to a doctor that you're looking for in a woman. Okay.
Do you think though people are answering this just based on like what they think is the right thing to say? Like, you know what I mean? Like, so it's like, someone asked me that, I would be so heartbroken. I was like, I don't know what I find attractive. I don't really care like what you do for a living. Like that doesn't impact whether or not you're attractive to me. But like, so maybe people are just coming up with answers based on what the stereotypical answers have always been.
Well, that's an interesting question, Steve, because normally I don't think men really ever care what their significant other's doing for a living. I never did, but, I don't know. Maybe here we are where, young people are dating and now like a job does mean something for both genders. But when I started dating, it didn't really matter what she did because I was expected to be the breadwinner. So I didn't care. It was like, whatever you want to do is fine. I know I'm the one that's going to have to be working for the longest time of my life. And then eventually you're going to stay home and have children. That was the generation I grew up in. Now that's completely different.
My whole thing was just like, are you employed and moderately happy there? Because in my head, I'm like, then you won't bitch about your job all the time. Like that to me seems to be
That's
more
a good
important.
one.
I don't care what you do for a living, so long as you're happy or happy-ish. I know it's work. No one's ever going to be fully happy, but as long as you're like, don't despise what you're doing for a living, then I'm like, whatever, cool.
So does anybody in the room have a job that they go, man, if this person did that, I would find them more attractive?
No.
Ooh. Wow.
Just based off of what they wear, so their uniform.
Nice.
Just, sometimes it would kind of translate to the bedroom.
Mascot for a baseball team.
Ooh, good call.
Mascot for a baseball team.
Yes.
Okay.
Well,
Maybe a hockey team, maybe a specific hockey team.
These
that
are so
is a little
oddly
gritty.
specific. Steve is going to have a hard time finding love.
Well, Reb always said he was attracted to a moose and a reindeer. So I was like, okay, well, what do we have here in Washington?
Oh,
we
really?
have rhubarb and
you called out rhubarb. Adorable.
Rhubarb
love
rocks.
rhubarb.
Poor Reb is going to have a hard time finding love with these specific job types that he needs.
I was thinking more along the lines of librarian, though.
Oh, librarian. Very nice.
Sexy librarians.
You're on the right track. Secretary is on the top list for what?
They have the same sort of uniform with that.
Receptionist. Mm-hmm. I mean, I have to tell you, this list for what, and it specifically said what men find attractive to women. So we're not, it looks like this is just basically heterosexual relationships is what they're looking for, because it didn't say what men find attractive in men or what women find attractive in women. It's basically men and women and women and men. And these men are just very basic. I have to tell you, they are super basic. Elementary school teachers, number 2. Finally, doctor comes in at number 3. I'm very proud of those men because I would be very attracted to a doctor. Because right now I need care.
You just want to use them for their knowledge.
Yeah, no doubt about it. The older I get, the more I'm like, you're a doctor? You're in. You're the best woman ever.
This one says Garbage Man. Signed, David the Garbage Man. Another text says, how about tattoo artists? Guys with full sleeves are hot. Signed, Steve.
Yes. No, I hate to say it, tattoo artist on the list. And neither is Garbage Man. But mechanic is on the list. I mean, that's always a cool job. I mean, because a mechanic can help you out with your vehicle. That's a cool thing. This is what women want in men.
But is that attractive? I mean, I'm not saying a mechanic can't be attractive, but is it because they could do something for you that makes them attractive?
Yeah, I know that there are people, I mean, I can only speak with my wife, but when I do stuff, I get more attractive to her. Like if I do stuff around the house. So mechanic, women also dig lawyers. That's number 2. Carpenters. So there's somebody else that can work with their hands like a mechanic.
There's something sexy about a guy with like a tool belt on, like getting stuff done. And it's not saying that they're going to do something for me because I could do those things and I have done those things. But the idea like, oh, yeah, that's a manly thing. I know it's kind of stereotypical, but
What if it's
You
like
know,
a children's tool belt that they just grabbed, like
Oh,
one of
yeah.
those, like the fake plastic
The
hammer,
little
and
tykes.
the
You put a little tykes
the
on,
little
you're in good shape.
screwdriver.
If he wears the plastic little helmet and the little vest, game on.
Oh, Fisher Price, man, you're the guy.
Oh, Black & Decker makes their own now.
Oh, the little
So
kid
it's all-
stuff?
Yeah.
Oh.
My little,
Oh, yeah,
brother, my little
absolutely.
brother's got it, so I'm like, to be even more official. It's like,
Okay.
hey, baby, how's it going?
It is funny that there's a whole line of toys of just basically things that us as adults never want to do, like vacuum, like
Yeah.
a toy Swiffer.
The whole kitchen set.
Right. It's just so it cracks me up.
Well,
it's like,
yeah.
wow, this is a toy. This to me is like a nightmare.
Was it the, and the conspiracy theory, was it because the kids wanted to be like mommy and daddy, or was it society going, this is what you're going to grow up to be? I mean, there was always that. We had those long conversations, of the stoner conversations about the toys they made for kids.
With a kid that like around a year and a half that likes to mimic whatever we do, I think it's more the kid just wants to do whatever the parent, like, Tatum loves the vacuum cleaner. So she just wants to like push a vacuum cleaner. So now we're like, do we buy her a children's vacuum cleaner? That seems like a ridiculous toy, but
Yeah.
like she loves
It's got those awesome little bubble balls, though. They're so cool.
some of them actually are functioning, like working kid
What, they
vacuum
work?
cleaner. I mean,
Yeah.
I wouldn't vacuum your whole house with it, but it kind of works.
Well, still, you got yourself a little baby Roomba. I love this plan.
Like we have a little kid Swiffer thing, and it actually does work.
Oh, that's great.
But it's just like she just
man.
loves walking around with that stupid thing.
People are loving engineers, project managers, women are, I should say, construction workers. There you go. There's that manly thing again.
What about
Which-
bikini barista? Someone just texted in.
Bikini barista. Let me see. Waitress is the closest thing we've got to that.
The women
But-
exposed their breasts and genitals and licked whipped cream off each other for money.
I'm going to tell you this, though, Steve. As advanced as we seem to think we are, at least according to this list, this is very basic. Outside of the doctor for what men want in women, nurse, elementary school teacher, secretary. Okay, lawyer's cool. I think that's at least a little bit more progressive. Dancer is in there. Not necessarily exotic dancer,
But
but
we know exotic.
come on.
Come on.
Middle school teacher, waitress, hairdresser, even some of the way, like waitress instead of server and hairdresser instead of stylist. Like even these terms are like old school, traditional, basic terms. And receptionist. I mean, these are things that men wanted in the 50s pretty much, except for maybe lawyer and doctor.
How about bud tender? Did that make the list? Which is
That
a
did
great
not make
pick
the list.
because
Right,
all the
yeah.
samples.
Yeah. And I mean, I don't know if the women are even better, really. I mean, doctor, lawyer, carpenter, engineer, project manager, firefighter, construction worker, software developer, mechanic, and accountant. These are all traditional dude jobs as opposed to maybe something that would be a little bit more, I don't know, nurturing. Like, he could be a teacher. He could be a nurse. He could definitely be a server. But women are not looking for that. So, I don't know. I thought the world was getting better, Steve, but
I don't think necessarily these are like, oh, I need to find a carpenter. I need to find, firefighter. It's just like, oh, you are a firefighter? That's kind of hot, but doesn't mean like, oh, you're a guy who's a teacher.
Right.
I'm not going to be turned on by you at all. No, that's not how that works.
it is the top 10, though, Vic. I mean, it's.
Well, they asked someone to say, what a profession you find attractive? So you're just trying to come up with an answer. That's why
Yeah.
I wonder about these things because like you're asked the point blank question like, okay, what do I think? Because to me, it's like I don't care what you do for a living. If you're hot, you're hot. Like it doesn't
Right.
matter if you're if you're a worm curator or
A worm
curator.
Yes.
Well, there you go, sir.
Mushroom harvester.
Yeah, how does one curate worms?
you got to go to Worm University to find that out, Rev. I don't know.
Worm University. Boy, these are two things I
All
didn't
right,
even know
cool.
existed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Would you like to know the least attractive jobs that people say you can have in 2021?
Radio professional.
Oh, darn.
Yeah, here we go. And all right, here we go. This is very fascinating to me. And this is according to the women. And again, now I think it's easier to come up with what you don't like. Yeah, I agree with you, Steve. When people ask you what you like, it's a little bit more challenging to like, yeah, all right, let me think of something. But people know what they don't like because people like to bitch.
Parking enforcer.
Yeah, parking
Wow,
enforcer.
yeah.
Oh, you're close. Women do not. They find the least attractive jobs are fast food worker, janitor, truck driver. Shut your mouth! I wouldn't get all my cool stuff if not for truck drivers. Come on, ladies. Cashier.
Because they're gone so long that they don't get to
Yeah.
provide the service.
Especially if you're long haul.
That could
yeah.
be. Cashier and maid, which really, I mean, if a dude's cleaning up, I mean, that means you don't got to clean up. I think that'd be great.
Especially if he's in a maid costume.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think you might be the only one looking for that, Vicky.
I wear a French maid outfit at home all the time.
While you clean, you are a good husband.
I got to get my money's worth.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW.
Everything is better electrified. Like the guitar, toothbrushes, or cars. And Hyundai has the widest range of electrified vehicles on the market, including the first ever Tucson and Santa Fe plug-in hybrid EVs. You can use electric when you want it or gas when you need it. It's your journey. Evolve it beyond the pump in the 2022 Tucson or Santa Fe plug-in hybrid EVs. Visit your nearest Hyundai dealer or learn more at HyundaiUSA.com. Call 562-314-4603 for complete details.
Take the next step toward the career you want, be it business, cybersecurity, healthcare, or more. UMGC can help you get there. No application fee when you apply by August 31st. Visit umgc.edu, certified to operate by Chev.
A burst pipe at 3 a.m. is a bad way to start the day. A cold shower in November isn't invigorating. So before you start freaking, call Beacon. Beacon Plumbing, Heating, and Mechanical is just one call away 24 hours a day. 1-800-FREAKIN or beaconplumbing.net.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle. The mother of a 14-year-old influencer in Brazil. Oh, do I just...
That sentence alone makes me angry.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
What did your daughter do? She's an influencer.
I just hate that. And you know what? You can tell that obviously we are not getting it because that's a thing. It is a thing, and people do respect some of these influencers. She had basically, on her TikTok account, Instagram account, she had like 1.7 million followers. If you combine the two.
Well, that's more than like most people who say they're influencers have. Because sometimes you see someone that's got 10,000 followers and they'll say social media influencer. I'm like, who are you influencing? And why?
And here's what I want to know. Who the hell is following a 14-year-old? You better be somebody.
Other 14-year-olds, I'd imagine.
It better be. I mean, honestly, Steve, that's what I would like to see. I would love to know the followers because I'm not sure all of them were 14.
Right.
That disturbs me just in general that somebody would give a crap what a 14-year-old has to say, except for people in her own demographic.
What was she influencing? I'm trying to even think like clothes, I'd imagine, maybe beauty products. That's my only guess.
Yeah, and that's why I get disturbed a little bit because a lot of the influencers are about beauty and whatever. And look, I got no problem with her doing that. But, if you are somebody who is over the age of 18, don't think you should really be paying attention to any sort of 14-year-old's account about beauty. I just feel like it's not appropriate. Yeah. But I don't know what she was doing.
Influencing, duh.
Yeah.
On a social network.
But her mom was not happy about this. Mom said, guess what? Going to delete your social media accounts. She thought that TikTok and Instagram were both unhealthy and deleted the accounts. And so 1.7 million followers gone.
You got mad at your family for getting rid of comic books.
Yeah.
And her parents got rid of 1.7 million followers.
Well, if she was monetizing it, I could see. I wonder. I mean, mom could call it unhealthy, but if the kid wasn't making any money, then I guess, mom may have a point because what is she doing?
Maybe mom was jealous. Maybe mom only had 1,200 followers.
Oh, yeah, that could be a thing. Sometimes moms do get jealous. Yeah, her mom said the role of a mother was not to be your buddy and admitted that her daughter Valentina would probably only realize that in hindsight. And mom, I love what the mom said. She says, it's hard enough for you to find out who you are at 14 years old. When there are 2 million people you've never seen in your life thinking they know you, it's even more dangerous and easier to lose yourself, which I think those are wise words, I have to say. I mean, I think mom put a lot of thought into this.
Yeah, man, that's something obviously, maybe Vicky, you even think about your little brother now, with the way the world is now with cyberbullying and all this stuff. I think about that from time to time. I'm like, okay, granted, she's only a year and a half old. I don't have to worry about it for a little bit of time. And who knows what the hell the world's going to be like by the time she's old enough to have some form of social media.
Yeah, dude, 14, 15 years from now, think about where we were 15 years ago.
I know. I thought MySpace was going to last forever.
Yeah. I mean, 15 years ago, our lives were very, very different. I don't think social media really existed a whole lot, except, like you said, MySpace.
Maybe Friendster.
Yeah, I mean,
MySpace and Zanga. I remember.
What the hell is Zanga?
It was like MySpace before MySpace. It was more of a bloggy type thing where you put all your feelings out.
So it's Facebook.
Wow. Yeah. I remember I did Zanga before MySpace.
I remember it was Friendster, and then I was like, I'm not doing this. This
I
seems
remember
dumb.
Friendster.
And then MySpace came up, and I'm like, I'm not doing this. And then all of a sudden, I'm like, well, everyone seems to be doing it. I should probably do it. And I thought MySpace was like the last of like a dying breed of positive social media. And then just kind of went downhill after that.
I'm just seeing stuff, though. It's an interesting thing because there's a point to this. Look, I know some people, and I think if they're having some stuff going on in their lives, then sure, confide in me because I'm your friend. But I mean, I am seeing some just like people that want to show me their injuries on Facebook. Like, why do I want to see that? And that's and they they friend everybody and they go, hey, look at my back. And I'm just like, your back looks really disgusting because of all the stuff going on over there. And you're showing it to everybody like I would care. We're not friends enough that I want to see what you're going through like that physically.
Well, maybe you should take off the About Me part of your Facebook. It says doctor on it.
And is that what's going on?
Dr. BJ.
Dr. BJ.
Yeah, I mean, back in the day, if you will, we never did that. It's like if I had a casual acquaintance, I would not know all of the like tough stuff they were going through. But my friends, I would know about the tough stuff they were going through, and I was happy to, to be with them on that. But now Facebook just goes, guess what? You're going to see everything I want my close friends to see because I friended you. And like, yeah, I need to, maybe I need to unfriend you.
I think back before there was social media, some people would just be like, check this out, and they'll lift up their shirt to say some weird thing, and you're just like, why are you showing this to me? It's just kind of like now.
They weren't my friend anymore. If somebody did that to me, they're out of my life.
What do you do with Facebook then? Just unfollow them.
I'm going to have to. You're right.
Yeah, you don't have to unfriend them. That way they don't have to be all butthurt. Just unfollow them. I have a lot of people on my Facebook that I just unfollow, and it's never because of anything super serious. It's just like I don't feel like reading your journal. You know what I mean? Like sometimes
that's exactly
like,
it.
After a while, I'm like, this should be just something that you just write in like a journal and not share with everybody. So I'm going to do you a favor and make it so that I don't see it.
Yeah,
because I was changing my opinion of people sometimes.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, and you don't want to change your opinion. It's like, you know what? You can have your inside thoughts. I don't want to know what you're thinking. I mean, the more and more I find out about some of my friends, I'm like, oh, man, I wish I didn't know that. You're right, Steve. The unfollow is the way to go. That way I don't know that, and I can be ignorance can be bliss. I can hang out with you and not know that maybe you're kind of a tool shed. That would be great.
Like the old days, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I don't need to know what you're thinking. Just, you're an idiot and I'm an idiot, and we still can get together and just not share our idiocy. How about that?
One texter says, it sounds like good parenting to me about the mom that got rid of that daughter's social media pages. I'm 100% behind mom.
I would love to know more about this story.
You would be 200% behind mom, too.
Oh, yeah. Have you seen pictures of mom?
Yeah,
have you seen them?
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't seen her mom. Wow. All right,
mom's looking pretty good there, BJ.
All right, from Valentina's mom. Yeah, I haven't seen any of the pictures yet, so I don't know anything about either one of these two. Mom. All right, so that's mom. Wait, I can't tell the difference.
I know, dude. You always hear that joke of you guys look like sisters, but the daughter looks older than 14, and mom, I don't know how old mom is, but she looks pretty young for being a mom.
I will say this: mom looks pretty glammed up in that picture. So does the daughter. And I think mom did the right thing because the daughter looks glammed up, and you could easily think she was older than 14 years old from that picture, and that's just not what you need. You don't need a bunch of you just don't need her out there to 1.7 million people like that. I just want to know, like, okay, she's an influencer. Did she make any money? Because isn't that what you want?
If she didn't make money, she probably got a lot of free crap.
Okay, and even the free crap is. I mean, I want to know more because what a waste of 1.7 million followers.
She did the mom. Shirts. I was reading that the mom said something like she didn't want her daughter just like trying to sell like cheap flammable polyester clothing and didn't want her to be just a trained monkey having to do a little dance every day.
Oh, that was her issue? I mean, like,
that was part of it.
Get as much free stuff as you can while you can.
Yeah, I have a bit of a problem with that, but I mean, I know the world is changing about what work is to look like, but you got to make money in this world. And if she was able to get 1.7 million followers and not do anything untoward, I don't think that was a smart move on the mother's part. I don't.
It's pretty bad out there when it comes to the comment section. I can't imagine what it will do to a 14-year-old.
That's, I think, is that she's looking out for her mental state because it's going to be it's probably already has been a disaster, and it only gets worse with the more followers you get.
You're 14 years old. Your job is not to make money for your parents or for yourself yet. Your job is to be a kid.
Yeah, but at some point, you have to also think about that's why you're going to school. That's why you're learning things. I agree with all of you about the comments are horrible, and if there's a way that the kid could never see those, but you're looking for an opportunity as a person when you're going to school at that age. What can I figure out that I want to do that will make me successful in my life? That's the age where you start thinking about it. When you get to be a freshman, you're being prepared to go to college. You're being prepared to figure out what you can do to make your way in life. And I think that's a golden opportunity thrown away, but I do agree that there had to be a way to police it so the kid's life wouldn't be ruined. And I think I would have hired some people if I'm that mother. It's like, wait, 1.7 million followers. All right, let's see if we can get some professionals in here. We can help her make her business, but not have her life be destroyed. Because there are a lot of young kids that work in the entertainment industry. They're able
to being a child star.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that never goes bad.
It never has.
Mm-mm.
No. Well, hey, we have a more important question on the text line.
Okay, what do we got?
Because it says you guys were talking about MySpace. What was your page song? Mine was Bat Country and Paper Cut. It says Avenged Sevenfold in Lincoln Park right there. Yeah. Do you remember that, BJ?
Oh, yeah, I do. I don't know if I can't remember. I don't know if did I have the peanut butter jelly time? I think I might have had that as my song.
Did you really?
Yeah, I think I did.
I would have thought you would have went like Avril Lavigne or like Collective Soul or something.
You have to understand, I put a MySpace page up under protest. Rev will tell you, I thought MySpace was for basically perverts and sick people.
So why
and
were you protesting it? Yeah, so why were you protesting if you thought it was for perverts?
Yeah, I mean, Rev will tell you, I had a horrible opinion of MySpace back then. I totally was wrong about social networking and who should be involved with it.
Mine always changed. I would always try and do it based on a mood that I was in. Feeling good, it'd be like a party type song. But I would always go back to a lot of like the Murder City Devils or something along those lines, just because I like those bands. So I'm I'm going to help get the word out about them. Not that anyone ever gave a crap.
Yeah.
But I was more about bedazzling my page. I liked having unicorns and glittery balloons.
Oh, right, yeah.
Top 89 or whatever it was. And,
yeah.
Honestly, that is the first introduction. I learned more on MySpace than I did in my coding class in high school. I learned how to code because of MySpace.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So I had everything. So I made it to
so it took 2 hours for your page to load on someone's
Oh, gosh.
Yes. Sometimes.
Did I hate those people?
Right?
Oh, I was like, you're no longer my friend. You're out of my top 5.
Well, it's okay. I don't want you in there. And it was top 8, BJ.
Yeah. Come on.
Whatever. Yeah. I don't know. What was that, MCI? MCI was top 5.
But then if you had the code, you could change it so it could be top,
whatever.
Something else top 64, top 128.
I got tired of people fighting, so I just did whenever you refreshed it, it would give you a new 8.
Yep, the randomizer.
I did a playlist. I had a little playlist code, and I had multiple songs that would play one after another, but I think mine would always be Linkin Park. Specifically, I think Breaking the Habit was my jam in high school.
Breaking the Habit.
It was so badass.
I think mine, trying to think of what else. The MySpace one was so much more fun than Facebook because it was super you could just do
glittery.
Stupid stuff. Yeah,
you could change your little mouse icon, everything.
Well, there had to be a reason why MySpace failed. Probably because it wasn't very pragmatic. I mean, it was fun, but what else could you do with it? Whereas Facebook, you could actually do some business with it and make stuff happen.
I mean, you could do the awesome bulletins and those tests that everyone loves so much.
Looking back on it, what more can Facebook do that MySpace couldn't?
Well, ask Justin Bieber because
I don't know him personally.
I should say Justin Timberlake. Yeah, ask JT. He invested in it.
Yeah, he tried.
I mean, I'll be honest with you. As an adult, now you guys were young enough that you liked it. I mean, but look, I'm older than you guys. I thought MySpace was stupid, and even when I was involved with it, I thought it was stupid. Whereas Facebook, to me, at least has practical applications, even though it is a misery. So maybe because it was really fun, and you guys were younger. But I mean, MySpace was a nightmare to navigate and try to do anything at all, really, compared to Facebook, in my opinion.
But I mean, they had the same thing: direct messages. You could post something and people can comment on it. All right.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I don't know then if that's the case because I don't know MySpace that well. I don't know why it didn't catch on. There had to be a reason as to why it just died. If it's just as good. I don't know why, because wouldn't anybody still like to have their little songs and their little bedazzled pages, you think?
Yeah.
I would.
Yeah.
I miss those days, man.
I don't know. Rev, you got any opinion as to why you think MySpace didn't go well as opposed to Facebook?
No.
Okay,
other than maybe just the Illuminati or something along those lines.
Totally
you don't want to get into my conspiracy theories about that stuff.
Today's podcast was brought to you by Travis Gagne, bankruptcy attorney. He's here right now and has agreed to answer more of your questions about bankruptcy. Here's a question from a listener. My house is currently in foreclosure. I've stopped making payments. What can I do to save my house?
If you're already in foreclosure behind on your mortgage, you can stop the foreclosure by filing a bankruptcy. There's different types of bankruptcy. Chapter 13 can help you catch up on your house payments if you're behind. It would mean that you'd have to start making your house payments again and catch up on the amount that you're behind over 5 years. You could also take off or strip off your second mortgage, which would help you to reduce your housing payment every month, especially once you're done with the plan and done catching up on your first mortgage. We could also try to buy you some time by filing a Chapter 13 case. Filing a Chapter 13 would definitely stop your foreclosure.
Thanks, Travis. If you have more questions about bankruptcy, you can reach out to Travis anytime at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com. And thanks for listening.
Take the next step toward the career you want, be it business, cybersecurity, healthcare, or more. UMGC can help you get there. No application fee when you apply by August 31st. Visit umgc.edu, certified to operate by Chev.